What's up, y'all? This is Henny. And today I want to teach you how to edit video on the iPad like a pro. Am I a pro? Of course I'm a pro. Professional. Digital. But first I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, the good folks over there at Crave, maker of the Crave Plus external battery charger and the Crave Octane wireless Bluetooth headphones. The company Crave makes some really dope products, and I thank them for allowing me to review the Crave Plus and the Crave Octane and see how it really can work in my workflow with my iPad and my iPhone and all the things that I'm doing on a daily basis, trying to be as mobile as possible. There'll be more on the Crave Plus later. Run it!
The business.
The only reason I was going back to my Mac, like my iMac or my MacBook Pro, 9 times out of 10 was because I needed to edit video. And I was hoping and praying for an app that would be able to give me the experience I needed on my iPad to be able to deliver content like I'm doing on a weekly basis. And lo and behold, I would say 6-7 months ago, I got hip to a company called LUMA Touch and their product, LUMA Fusion. The way they put together this app is incredible. For an iOS app that can do 3 layers of 4K video and 3 layers of pristine audio, with the app can do LUTs, which are lookup tables, basically filters that you can put over your video to make them look a little bit more professional. You can add sound effects, you can add, great titles, you can import your own fonts into this app. I mean, it's only getting better, and I don't know, the last 3-4 months that I've been doing all my videos on YouTube have been using this app exclusively. So I wanted to dive in because people are asking, yo, how are you editing video on the iPad? Today is the day that I show you. So yeah, you see it, you got LUMA Fusion here. I want to break down all the different steps from importing to getting your files together, to color grading, to exporting, the whole 9, so that you can take your iPad to another level. Because even if you're a musician like me, or you're trying to be a filmmaker, being able to do editing on the go using your iPad, doing 4K edits with really big files can be an extreme advantage to your workflow. So I wanted to really break this thing down, and hopefully you'll stick with me, and let me show you what I got going on right here. So usually right here, I'm recording using a Panasonic GH5, and up top here, I got a RX100 Mark V. That's a Sony smaller point and shoot camera. It's crazy. So what I'll do is, after I record these files, I'll take this adapter, and this is basically a Lightning to SD card, and I'll basically, just put my SD card in here and plug it directly into my iPad. Given the type of files that it has, most cameras that you're using, whether they're Canon, Panasonic, Sony, Fuji, whatever they are, they'll read directly into your camera roll. So I'm just gonna, select all of these, and which I've already done, and hit import all. These are just some files that I shot over the weekend for Easter, to kind of do a little B-roll sequence for the video. Once you have them imported, you can see I have all the files imported. I'll go and I'll start up LUMA Fusion. LUMA Fusion comes up like this, and I'll ask you what your frame rates are, what your frame aspect is, and what you want to name your project. I'll just name this B-roll sequence. And for my frame rate, I always like to shoot in 24 frames a second. That's why it's going to give me as much of a cinematic, film look as possible. And my frame rate is to be 16:9. Now, if I'm shooting for different social media platforms, I can change that frame rate aspect, because say for instance, I'm shooting for Instagram, I would change this to 4:5. And that's the best way to get that long portrait look on Instagram. I would shoot in 4:5. Or if I'm shooting for Instagram stories, 9:16 will completely fill up that Instagram stories vertical layout. But for today, I'm going to start by 16:9 because that's the best way to shoot for YouTube. And I'll hit create. So now that I got my project set up and I got my files imported, I can go in here and you can see that on the top left side of Luma Fusion, you have all these different sources that you can get files, video, audio, photos from. And, photos from your iTunes, royalty-free music that they include, anything that you imported here, any type of titles, or your transitions. So I'm gonna go to photos, and it comes up with your albums or your moments. I'm gonna go to my moments and the stuff that I imported today. You can scrub your footage. These are 1080 files that are shot in 120 frames, so they're gonna be real slow motion. So if I'm shooting a B-roll sequence, most likely in my mind, I need the music first, because that's how I'm gonna chop the video up. I'm gonna chop it to the music, chop it to the beat, something like that. So I'll need to import a track from Audio Share into Luma Fusion. So I'm gonna go to Audio Share and look at maybe this beat. Let's see what we got. Okay, so I'm gonna go to here. I'm gonna go open in Luma Fusion. So now that was New Pro 24, a track that I have. I can scrub that here. I can take just the beginning of it. I can take the end of it. I'm gonna just take the whole track for now. I can just literally tap and drag, or just hit this arrow, and it's going to give me the whole track down here. In green is gonna be your audio, and up top of blue is gonna be your video. So now I have this track. So now I'm gonna go back here, go to photos, and start looking at how I wanna put this thing together. Let's start with some coals, maybe. So this is a slow motion file. I'm gonna start it there, as you can see. So say for instance, you can, kind of open it up and see exactly where you're at. I'm gonna go here and do what is called a speed ramp. Where it goes slow and then fast and then slow and again. Show you how I do that on Luma Fusion. So I'll go here. Here's your 3 edit pieces. You have, kind of like your briefcase that gives you info, slip, clone, detach, unlink, your different presets, and edit, or clip, like your clipboard. Right here, you can add a voiceover over the top, a transition, or overlay title. And right here is how you cut a file. So right now, I'm just gonna cut this file, and then I'm gonna double tap. When you double tap on this file, it gives you all the different parameters inside of what that file can do. You can change the rotation of it. You can do the different sizes up and down. You can size it. You can undo things. You go here to your speed, which I'm gonna do now. You can change the volume of it, or you can change the color. So first thing I'm gonna do is change the speed. So I did it slow first, so I'm gonna go ahead and speed it all the way up, right? And it might look a little jittery, but when it renders, it's gonna render smoothly. So it's gonna, that's the part of the beat I want it to stop. I'm gonna do another cut, and I'm going to go back to speed and come all the way back down to 1 times, regular. So the little speed ramp will look like this. So that was just a piece of charcoal burning. I smoked some salmon yesterday, so let's just show the salmon. Bring some of that in here. Maybe I'll do a jump cut where it jumps in time. And right down here, you have, on this side, you have all your audio meters. And then right here is kind of like, do you want to slip it in time, or do you actually want to bring it together? So if I bring this down and I delete this, it'll leave that gap. But if I leave it going forward and I do this, it'll crunch those 2 things together, which was what I wanted. I wanted a slip in time, right? So you gotta make sure you select the file that you want to edit, or it will sometimes chop the entire line that you're on. So those are the 2 pieces that I want on that. Then I have this piece of my daughter doing a spin. And she does it one more time. There we go. And I'll kind of just look to see exactly where she starts. And maybe another speed ramp here. Double tap, go to speed, go all the way up. And let's bring this back down to 1. Come back. Let's kind of look and see what we got here. When I'm doing things on the beat, I'm listening for the kick or the snare to really try to chop that, chop the video up. And a lot of people say that, you know, people in music can sometimes be really great film editors because they already have the rhythm in their head. And when you have that rhythm in your head, you're already thinking about the way that it should flow and how it should move in a sequence when it comes to the video. So those are 3 pieces that I did. I did some speed ramps, did some chops and some edits. And I'm gonna go in and try to finish this real quick and just show you, because there's a lot more to put together in this video. So let me do some more edits. So I did some more chops and editing to this video just to give you a little bit of taste of how it would come together. And then I'll start to show you the color grading. So right now I have this here as I'll probably just stop it right there, right? The Crave Plus external battery charger is a really dope designed 10,000 milliamp hour battery charger. Not only does it have a great design, but it's actually almost the exact shape of an iPhone 7 Plus. Let's see what you get in the box. In the box, you get the Crave Plus itself, a micro USB cable, paperwork, and that's about it. The really cool thing is it has 3 different ports. It has a micro USB connection, a USB-C connection, and a quick charge USB 3 connection. Now, when testing this with my iPad, I connected a Lightning to USB-C cable to the Crave Plus and then the other end into my iPad Pro. It was able to get the iPad to a full charge from 20%. When using it with my iPhone 7 Plus, I was able to get multiple charges out of it. And it was great because it fit the exact size of the iPhone 7 Plus. The Crave Plus has a battery indicator on the side and will show you how much juice it has left. All in all, the Crave Plus has a great design, is a great addition to someone who has an iPad Pro and wants to charge on the go with a slim device, and works perfectly with the iPhone 7, 7 Plus, 8, 8 Plus, and the iPhone 10. I'll leave a link in the description where you can check out and purchase a Crave Plus. Now back to the video. Now you say, okay, you got this how you want it. Usually in B-roll kind of like has the crushed black bars on the top and the bottom of the video. And a lot of people are trying to figure out how to do that as well. What you do is you have a file, like an image that have the black bars on top and the black bars on the bottom, and you just overlay that over the top of the video. Let me show you how to do that. If you want to learn how to download anything on your iPad, I did a video on that as well using the app called Documents. I'll link it up here. But I brought a file in from Documents, and that's just a Cinescope with crop lines. And if I bring it in and I bring it over here over the top, you'll see that now I have the bars over the top of the video. Now if my music was too loud, I can literally just go here and look at the levels. That's how you're getting your level set, your level straight. At any point, if you want to see it bigger, you just double tap where the video is playing and it'll show you the video, right? Now, when you know that you want to color grade your footage, most likely you want to shoot and what they call a flat profile. And what that is basically just having a desaturated look to your original footage where the colors aren't really popping out, and that you have more dynamic range, which means that you have, you can see more of the whites and more of the blacks in your footage when you color grade it. And so when I go in and I shoot my footage, I'm usually shooting in what's called a log profile, and that's pretty much the flattest profile that you can get out of a camera that you're using. Not every camera has a log profile. Some just have more of a natural or some type of standard profile that you can desaturate the look and try to get it as flat as possible. But I'm just trying to give you an overview of what I'm going to do to color grade this footage to make it pop. So let's take the charcoal, for instance. If I double tap on it again, you can see here that I still have the speed, I have the volume, and then I have the edit. Over here, it gives me all these different, it comes with a whole bunch of different filters. I don't really use the filters besides the original filter because it gives you all of these, things that you can do to your footage. I'll get to that in a second. The update that really was a game changer for me in LumaFusion when they added the LUTs, or the lookup tables. Those are the different filters that you put on your footage to give it that pop and that feel. So what I'm gonna do is go into a filter that I've already created, and it's a LUT basically by my man Jew Works. He does a lot of stuff with the GH5, the camera that I'm using, and so I'm just gonna add that and apply that to my color. And as you can see, it changed my footage from looking like this to looking like this, from this to this. And you can see the color really starts to pop from there. Now, let's say here that the colors were just a little, maybe just a little too bright. Maybe I can turn the brightness down. I think it's pretty good. Sometimes I change the gamma here, but for the most part, I got to color the way I want it. But once you start and research colors and color grading, you can go down a complete rabbit hole trying to figure out how to get your footage to look the way that you want it. Over the last couple years, I've been really trying to perfect the way my colors look in my video. So now I have a color graded slow motion footage that has, the cinema bar over the top and bottom. I can go here to my clip and say copy, and go over to this next clip and paste it. Go over to this next clip and paste it, and so on and so forth. See how it changed the color of the fish? Or like, boom, So I'm gonna finish that up, and then I'll show you what this looks like. So now I've kind of color graded the whole piece, and that's kind of how I get a B-roll section going. Now let's say I need a title. I'll do an overlay title over this video, and maybe I want to just say Sunday. And so I put in Sunday. Of course, they have all these different ways you can do it. I'm just gonna keep it normal. You can change all the fonts. A quick tip, if you want to import fonts into this app, all you have to do is go to this app called Fantasy, or one of these. You can look at some of these, like say for instance, I want to use Rubik Mono. I literally can go here and copy to LumaFusion. The font Rubik Mono Regular has been registered and can be used for your title. Just that simple. Now I'm getting dope titles for the free, just by using a different app. This app's called Fantasy for your titles. So I can go to R, Rubik Mono, boom, Sunday, right? Or if I wanted to take it a step further, I've shown in a different video how to kind of make your words kind of write themselves out on a video. Let me show you again. If I go here and I can go to this app called Procreate, It's a crazy app for drawing. I'm gonna make sure my color is white and select what pen I want. I think I want more of a crazy pen like that. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna swipe up, swipe all the way up, and start my video recording. Now my video is recording, and I will go back here and I'll just type, I'll write Easter. Easter, right? Stop. Now that video of me writing Easter is saved in my camera roll. I can go back into LUMA Fusion, come back here, go to imported, or I'm sorry, go to photos. And this is what I just created. And let's see, I just want to maybe drop it on the timeline here. Boom. So you can see it's definitely overlaying over the top of my video. But I go here to color and effects. I go to this tab, which is basically the key tab. Now I like to use the ocean key tab and just select the range. Makes it completely disappear. Go back to the frame and fit, go to cropping, take anything that is not needed. The top is not needed, the bottom's not needed. And then I can go out of crop and just boom, lay that over the top of my footage, and I can still color correct it. Maybe want it to do a little bit more like that. And let's see what we have here. And this is kind of how I do like my, you know, the drawing of my name at the beginning and end of my video, stuff like that. I could even speed it up if it's a little too slow. Maybe I'll do that. And then bring Sunday, Easter, Sunday, and chop that. That's importing the video, looking at it, getting the audio together, importing the sound that you want, you know, doing the bars, color grading. That's basically the whole overview of what this app can do. For the most part, all of these things can be done on your iPad on the go. And there's so much time that you can have by taking this with you and not worrying so much about being back at your laptop and having to carry your laptop and your hard drive and all of the components and the compartments to make sure that you can start editing. And sometimes you just really want to be that mobile, and you can do this on the iPad, and you can do the same app on the iPhone. So let me show you how I export it. Now over here on the top right, it has the little file thing here, and you can do, you know, your movie, your audio only, your project archive, and your snapshot. Your snapshot is like if you want to take a picture of that file, like maybe if you wanted to make a thumbnail. So if I wanted to make a thumbnail, I could just do the snapshot, boom, and it took a snapshot of what it looks like, right? I'm gonna go back out of that and go back to the video, go to movie. Usually I can go straight to YouTube and upload straight from there. I'm usually uploaded in 4K, 24p, the whole nine. And I hit there, it renders out and uploads straight to YouTube. Today, I'm just gonna do it straight to my Photos app so I can bring it back into the video that we're doing today. So I'm gonna record it in, let's do it in 4K, 24p, and 30 seconds, yeah. And watch how fast it renders. That's what really got me. Like, it's sometimes rendering faster than real time. And if you know anything about editing 4K footage and exporting it, and with LUTs and color grading and all that, it can take a long time to export. And if, granted, this is only 30-second clip, but I'm done talking. It's probably only been 10 seconds and it's done. So now we can look at the clip here, or we can go out of here, go into our Photos app, and it's, my bad, it's right here. That was rough and dirty. I could do a lot better. But I wanted to show you exactly how I'm getting some of this stuff done on my iPad. But people are saying, well, you know, a lot of these files, a lot of the footage that you get are, you know, too big for my iPad. And that is true. Now, the one thing that I did make sure of when I purchased my iPad is when I was thinking about what was I going to do with this, I was really hoping that I could be able to edit video on my iPad. Mind you, I have the 512 gigabyte iPad Pro, and it has the most storage that you can possibly have on an iPad right now. So that is a difference when it comes to, you know, your iPad and your different capacities. But if you do have the capacity, 128 gigabytes or more, most likely you'll be able to do what I'm doing here on the iPad or on the iPad Pro. After I do a video and I get it all sent out and it's already, you know, uploaded to YouTube and all my places that I need it to be, I archive it. And so the easiest way to archive it is just to take your file and say Project Archive. I'm gonna save it straight to my iCloud drive. And I recommend, you know, invest in your equipment, invest in your technology. I have a lot of different, you know, cloud storages that I'm signed up to. I have a Dropbox account, I have a Google Drive account, and I also have an iCloud account. That's because I want to make sure I have the files with me as much as possible. So I have 2 terabytes on my iCloud drive, and that's how I use to back up a lot of these videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, you can include the entire file when you back up, or you can include just the files that you trimmed. And so a lot of times I know that my video is already out there. I'm not going to make too many changes to it unless it's super important. So I'm just going to do trimmed media, smaller files, and hit there, B-roll sequence. And it's just going to go through and write all the projects and then put it into my iCloud drive. And that's how I'm getting my projects, you know, backed up and then sent to the cloud, so I know that they're somewhere. And if I needed a third copy, or if I needed to make sure that I have them with me, I can always export that to a hard drive. But as you can see, it's already done. I'm gonna go to my backups, say add, and the project upload has been complete. Your project archive has been uploaded to the cloud. So that was it. Hopefully you got something from that, learning how to edit video on an iPad like a boss. I know it's not the most musically related video, but I definitely feel like it's a brand related video. It's been amazing for me to see over the last, year and some change, how my brand has been building and how so much more of my story has been told, and it's been told through doing these videos. So it's very important to show you how this works and how I get it down, because let me tell you, like, I don't care what you're doing in your career. I don't care how not far along you feel like you need to be or you feel like you should be. It's imperative that you think about yourself as a brand, because that's what the people want these days. They want to know the person. They want to know the thing that drives the product. And that thing is you. It can be so nerve-wracking to tell your story and to feel like nobody wants to hear it, but I promise you, everybody has a great story to tell. Everybody has something about them that is great and that's gonna make them great. It's just finding it within you to figure out, do I have the courage enough to get it going and to stay consistent with what I'm putting out there? So if you're making beats and you're producing, or you're an aspiring filmmaker, it's the consistency, it's the persistence of building your brand that's gonna get you where you need to go. You know, everybody's gonna look at social media to figure out, what a person is or what a person's about. And if you can continuously tell your story over and over, people will start to follow and people will look at the greatness that's within you. And, you know, that's the reason why I do this every day. And I really bring these videos to you every week, is so that I can make sure that when I'm gone, I left a legacy big enough that told my story over and over again about why I wanted to be the person that I am today. I don't know if that speaks to anybody right now, but I know that there's somebody out there trying to figure out how to get to that next level. And that next level isn't by just saying, I need to try to do this. It becomes a mission, right? It becomes a mission. And when you think about your life and you think about what you want to do in your life, there's three ways that you can really look at it. Like, you can have a job and you can do your job to get paid and then be able to do some things with the money that you get from your job. Or there you can have a career and really love your career and really love what you're doing, but not have enough time for anything else because you're so and your time is so inputted into your career. Or you can make it your mission. And when you make your life's work your mission, everything about your life becomes part of it. And you're able to bring it all in, whether it's your family, whether it's, you know, the other activities that you do in your life. Everything revolves around your mission, and it makes every day fulfilled. That's all I've got to tell. Like, I'm really, really understanding this whole fulfillment game right now. And it's becoming crazy every day as I think more and more about the comments that people are leaving and the way that I'm helping others and the way that I'm motivating and inspiring. I just know that it's God's plan, like, straight up. And I thank everybody out there who's been watching. I thank everybody out there who's been, you know, really rocking with your boy. And I appreciate everybody who's been supporting me. You know, over the last week, I put out the first product there. My keys, leads, and strings volume 1, and a ton of y'all have supported me on that. And so I appreciate y'all for supporting me. And that's just a way to kind of start to build relationship with my other producers out there. So thank you again for your purchase. Thank you again for supporting, and leave a comment or a like, you know, share this video, subscribe to your boy. And I got some prizes. Once we get over 200 likes on this video, you know, I got the Crave Plus, the external battery charger that'll go out, and I also have the wireless headphones from Crave. I thank Crave again for sponsoring this video, and I will select 2 different people to receive these things for the free. And the only thing I ask is that, you know, let me know that you supported the keys, you know, leads and strings, and like this video, and subscribe to my channels and my social, and we'll get it lit like we always do. That's all I got for y'all today, man. Hope I can help y'all out one more time. And